Hi students, Ms. Bitzer here. Today we're going to talk about more things pertaining to clay and the clay room. Specifically today we're going to focus on tools and what those tools do and what is their proper name. Right? So I have some clay here to demonstrate, and we're going to go through some different tools in the room, learn their names, and you will fill out a diagram with the tools as you follow along with this video. Okay. So as you can see, my clay is soft and workable, which is called plastic. Let's go through some tools and see what they do. Okay. This tool is called a mini ruller, R-O-L-L-E-R. Okay. It's similar to like a rolling pin, okay? And its job is to simply create flattened pieces of clay without getting out any of the big rolling pins. So if you're needing to flatten small pieces of clay, this mini roller is going to be a great option for you. Next, let's talk about the Fettling knife. Okay. This tool is called a Fettling knife or a potter's knife. Okay, I want you to learn like the correct terms for these tools. This is not like just called a knife. It's called a Fettling knife or a potter's knife, and its job is to cut. Go figure. Okay, so this will be good for creating like straight cut lines. This blade is sharp, but not so sharp that it's going to really cut through your skin unless you are really trying to do that. Okay. Let's look at the next tool. This is called a potter's needle or a needle tool. Right? It's not the pokey thing, it's a potter's needle. And this tool is great. This can also be used to cut away clay, especially if you want to do more organic shapes, like so. It can be used to like create textures. Okay, this tool is very dynamic in what it can be used for, but it's good for detailing because it's so small. Next, let's look at our ribbon tool. Okay. Here are two examples of a ribbon tool, and they come in lots of different shapes and sizes. They usually have different ends on each side, and some are thicker than others, but they have an actual blade on them that's used for carving. Okay. So let's say, for example, I wanted to carve down this triangle. Okay. What I would use the modeling tool for is to take and carve clay away. And because they come in all different shapes and sizes, you can find lots of varieties that will help you with the shape that you want. Now this clay is too soft to actually really carve well, but you get the point. This is how you would take away if you were trying to carve down certain areas. This is called a ribbon tool. All right. Next, let's look at these tools. These are called ribs. Some are serrated, like this one, and some are smooth. Some are also made out of rubber and wood. These happen to be metal ribs. And when I say rib, I'm saying rib like R-I-B, like the ribs inside of your body. And what these tools are great for is scratching and slipping. And joining pieces of clay together. So let's say I wanted to join these two pieces of clay together. I would use this rib to scratch or score, those words are simultaneously, my clay in order to join the pieces. Okay, it makes scratching really easy. I know you guys in the past have probably used a needle tool to like scratch your clay, but this is a much more efficient way of doing that. And then of course, we have our jars of slip. It's not pickles, it's slip. And what slip is just a liquefied version of clay. It acts like a glue. Okay, and if I wanted to join these pieces together, I would of course have to scratch, add slip, and then I could join them. Okay. And I would just simply lightly press together, and then those pieces have been joined. Now, this tool here is called a modeling tool, and it also comes in lots of shapes and sizes similar to the ribbon tool, but this tool is great for blending. So let's say I needed to blend this seam where I just joined. I would do this by using my modeling tool. You know, rather than take my big old fat finger in here, I have this nice modeling tool with a point. It will create some precision. And then I can kind of come in. And I'd want to also join here at the bottom if I was really going to want to join this piece, but I would do the same thing. I would use my modeling tool to smooth over and join the two pieces together. Another tool used for blending is this tool, which is called a stylus, and it is rubber on the end, and it will do the same thing. Okay, if you would like to use this instead of the modeling tool, some people have a preference, but it really does the same thing. They come in lots of different shaped points as well if you're looking for something more detailed. And now I've successfully joined two pieces of clay together. Another tool that comes in handy is, of course, the sponge. Okay, especially a sponge that is damp. Okay, so I put a little bit of water on here, and if I wanted to smooth things out, you see I got some like marks in there. The sponge is a great tool for that. Okay, so if I want to smooth over my clay with just a little bit of water on, I can get things in there nice and smooth. Another great tool is a tool called the paddle. It is in fact a wooden paddle, and it also comes in different shapes and sizes, but it's good for creating larger forms. So if I had this ball of clay, it's great for creating edges or angles. Let's create a ball out of my clay here. Okay. Say I wanted to create some edges on this. This tool is perfect for that. If I hit the clay, it'll start to create some planes. So essentially, from that ball of clay that I had, I could create like a perfect cube using the paddle tool to do so. Okay, so that is just how we're going to use a variety of tools in the classroom, what their names are, and what they do and what their intended purpose is. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for your submission of that worksheet sometime before class starts tomorrow. And then we will continue tomorrow with learning some basics of how to use clay.